fun. Hello, everybody. Dan Beckman, president of the Muskegon Area Sports Hall of Fame. I'm here with my good friend and longtime athletic director and head basketball coach at Muskegon High School. This is Mr. Keith Guy, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to let you get to know him better, and you're going to really enjoy this. So we're just going to take a few questions right now so you can get to know Muskegon High School's AD, Keith Guy, a little bit better. Keith, so glad that you give us this opportunity to just sit down and let people know a little bit more about you because you've got a great and storied past athletically, personally. So here's a couple questions. Many people in this area know you as the athletic director at Muskegon High School. I want them to know the other successful life experiences you've had prior to taking over as the Big Reds AD. Share your story with us.
Okay, I started off, I played for Muskegon Heights. I graduated in '93. Went on to play for Gene Gifford at Muskegon Community College for 2 years. Left there, went and played for Tom Ludwig at Ferris State. Then after my 2 years playing there, I was the grad assistant. Came back, coached freshman basketball for Jim Gorman for 1 year. And then I went to Muskegon Heights for 2 years under Lamar Chapman. And then I became the head coach there, and it's been head coaching ever since.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people don't realize that you had some success as the head basketball coach at Muskegon Heights against the Big Reds.
Yeah, we had some battles. in the Muskegon Sports Hall of Fame. Our teams, like we were talking about off air here, was my teams have probably the only team that's competed in every event that Muskegon basketball showcase, whether it was Muskegon or I was on the Muskegon Heights side. So, we're very, very, very proud to be able to say we've been a part of such a great event.
Yeah, it's been a great event, and you're right, because it's been Keith Guy who's been in every one of our tournaments, because you were with the Muskegon Heights Tigers when you were in our tournament, and then you were with Muskegon when Muskegon Heights was not. So the mainstay in our tournament has been Keith Guy. You've been the man. Muskegon is very well known as a football school. And I think everybody that knows football in the state of Michigan would know that. But it didn't take you long to also make Muskegon boys basketball an athletic prowess. Today, what are your fondest memories of over 20 years of coaching varsity basketball? Let's talk specifically right now about the Big Reds.
One of the things, the state championship is one. But I think the fondest memories for me are the times where every player comes back Christmas time. And we have a big reunion. We practice, we scrimmage those guys. They pretty much talk to the current players and tell them how it is playing for me, how it is moving on to the next level, what they have to look forward to in life. So it's just, we kind of built a fraternity here. And quite honestly, it's Muskegon and Muskegon Heights, my former players. They all come back, so it didn't matter if they played for Muskegon Heights or whatever. And I'm so happy about that. I have relationships with all of my guys that have played for us. So those are my fondest memories, just getting back, talking about old times, those new guys imparting into some wisdom into the new guys. So it's just great.
Yeah, and you're humble when it comes to your own experiences and your own, I guess, your sense of pride in yourself, because I remember when you earned your 400th victory, you quickly deflected to the players and I remember it was an emotional time, that they gave you those memories because they realized how much you poured into them. And because of your investment in them, the return were all those wins, because they just played their hearts out for the Big Reds or the Tigers, but they wanted to play their heart out for you. And so I wanted that to be known too. The winningest active coach in this area by a long way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, you deserved it and you earned it.
Oh, thank you.
With your role as AD, what are some of the things that go unnoticed by the typical set of spectator eyes? And they take a lot of hours of your time as an athletic director.
That's the biggest thing. People don't know is it's a 24-hour job. Your phone's never off. You never shut down. People call you all times of night, whether it's players, whether it's coaches. There's always something to be done. And my wife understands that, thankfully. that it's just a 24-hour job, and those are the challenges. But I enjoy it because I think in order to do this job effectively, you have to be accessible, and you have to be willing to work countless hours.
Yeah, that's one thing about an athletic director's clock. It doesn't have hands on it, does it?
It does not.
It does not. Yeah. You know, there's always challenges facing public school administrators. When you think about the challenges right now that an athletic director's facing, what's on the front burner of your plate with respect to the challenges of being an athletic director?
You know, what's the most ADs might agree with this, but my challenges are finding coaches that want to coach the so-called minor sports. You know, everyone wants to coach until the job is posted, and then you don't get a lot of applications. And so my charge is to try to put good people, quality people, in charge of our kids, in front of our kids, and give them good examples to them to aspire to be like their coaches. So just trying to find good people that wants to coach. Because again, it's not the typical where it used to be, where it's just in season and for 3 months or whatever you're done. Now sports are going pretty much year round, and it's tough to find people with that type of commitment to do that for an entire 11, 12 months.
Yeah, and coaches don't get in it for the money.
Absolutely.
And that when you are talking about getting good people, it's about getting their heart and
Absolutely.
knowing that it's about being a role model for these young athletes. And that's a challenge today.
Absolutely.
That's a challenge. I see that. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Definitely.
With all the successes you've experienced over the course of your life, what names come to mind with respect to guiding and supporting you along your life's journey?
There's a lot of people, and it's tough to name because we could be here all day, but two notable people is my parents. And I tell people this all the time. I'm not embarrassed by the story. My parents are divorced. They were divorced when I was 3 years old, and they didn't agree on much, but they agreed on, making sure that my brother and I did the right thing. Make sure we go to church every Sunday. My dad's a pastor. My mom grew up in the church, and so they didn't agree on much, but the foundation of raising us, they could agree on. And they made sure that they put the work ethic in me. They made sure I treat people right. They kept me humble. And it's just, I couldn't ask for better parents. If there was a Hall of Fame for mothers and fathers, my mom and my dad would be in the Hall of Fame. They've been so much to me, and they everything that I have, I owe to them. And then my wife, she allows me to do this. She allows me to bring kids to the house, and she takes on this job just like I do. My kids, the same thing. My children, my 3 children, they allow me to do it, and sometimes it was because I had to miss some of their events for other people's children, and they understood that. If I could do it all over again, probably do some different things, but they're happy with how things turned out. But the sacrifices they made, they're, to me, the real MVP of everything that we've done, because they were so understanding. My family was so understanding of what I was trying to accomplish, and they took on this thing as well. All of my kids are so competitive, so I think they kind of was around this whole thing. And I remember seeing Cameron, it's getting off a little bit, but I remember, Deshaun Throw was Mr. Basketball, and Cameron, he was a lot younger at the time, and we took a picture with him. He wanted to take the ball and take a picture with the Mr. Basketball trophy. And he said he was going to be the Mr. Basketball, Mr. Football one day. And that was one of his dreams because he saw Deshaun do it. And, later in life, he did it. So I can go on with names, but it's pretty much
what a testament, though, to share that with your family, as your parents, because when you think about it, those were your first role models.
Absolutely.
They're the ones that you look to. And when you think about being in a foxhole with people, it's usually your family that's got your back.
Absolutely.
And so thanks for sharing that. That's really neat.
Oh, absolutely. I love that story because, that's just who I am. And again, they're in my Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And that's a good Hall of Fame to be in. Well, I know football is the forefront of everybody's mind right now, but you've got a lot of different things to think about. But I also know in the back recesses of your mind, you're still a basketball coach.
Absolutely.
And that's something that you take great pride in. And there's probably a couple games that are circled on that calendar for your upcoming season. Who you got on the schedule that your kids are really looking forward to playing?
You know, we have a tough schedule, conference and non-conference. And I have to be honest with you, this is not just coach's talk. Every game on that schedule is circled for us because we understand that we get everybody's best. And so there's not a night off where we can afford to disrespect anyone and look ahead to someone else. So we always respect our opponents. Whoever's in front of us that night, that's who we're going to play. And so we're going to prepare for them like we prepare for the state championship. So everyone on that schedule is circled.
Yeah, that's a good answer because you are right.
Yeah.
People are going to get fired up to play against the Big Reds, and they will get they'll get their best effort.
Absolutely.
And that's something you face every game,
Absolutely.
every year.
Yeah.
Well, I've had this wonderful time to just hear you speak to others because I do know quite a bit about your background. But boy, it was nice to hear you speak about your parents. What a tribute, and your family as well, and help them to know that they are understanding in what you have to do as athletic director. You've done a great job for Muskegon, and you've made them proud and made Muskegon County proud. So have a great year, Keith, and keep up all the great work you do for kids and the role model you've been for them.
Thank you so much, Dan.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And then I'll just, and what's nice is you were I stayed right out of it. So
Oh, wow.
that was it. So it's still recording because I can always do the bumpers.